All right, Randy, Aletha, thank you so much. Amanda, how excited are you for the LA 28 games, and what sport are you most excited about?
I am so excited, and I think my favorite sport is gymnastics. I actually have 3 nieces that are gymnasts, and I feel like watching the Olympic athletes do their thing is just absolutely incredible. How about you, Brian?
Very excited for the games. I mean, we've got this cool swag. Pretty nice, huh? I'm really excited about and really passionate about the sport of swimming. So I'm really excited to see the world's greatest swimmers come together every 4 years, and it's just such an exciting competition. But Amanda, do you know what else I'm excited about and super passionate about here?
What?
I am so passionate about how CDW helps business leaders deliver exceptional employee experiences through programs like Device as a Service.
That is so funny. I am also really passionate about how CDW helps professionals benefit from the scalable, flexible, and predictable structure that a great DaaS program can bring. So Randy showed you what's possible at the Olympic scale, but now let's bring it back to you. Every leader in this audience is being asked tough questions about devices. How are you going to keep up with AI? How are you going to cut costs? How are you going to stay flexible in a really volatile market? And how are you going to free up your talent so they can focus on growth? We believe that the best way to get clarity is to start by asking the right questions.
That's great. So this first question we have up here is a big one. How are you managing and refreshing devices? How has that changed over the last few years? And how are you doing so without derailing your budget or draining your team? AI has really raised the bar for device performance. Refresh cycles are getting shorter, expectations are higher, and keeping pace across a dispersed workforce can be really costly if not managed appropriately. Device lifecycle, device choice, device management, all can add complexity. The more you speed those cycles up, the more work for your teams, and the more expensive it can be. With DaaS, though, don't worry. You don't carry that burden alone. We at CDW are going to make it easier for your IT teams to keep your people current and productive with the devices they want and the applications that they need. Device as a Service is a great solution for you just because of that flexibility.
Awesome. So the second DaaS question we want everyone to be able to answer, so this is interactive. Show of hands, how many people in the audience know the current total cost of ownership, TCO, for your IT devices? Anybody?
I don't see any hands.
Okay, so this isn't surprising. This is a really hard question. Most organizations underestimate the true cost of ownership, and the devices of today and of tomorrow are going to do a whole lot more, so they're going to cost more. By the end of this year, 1 in 4 commercial devices is going to be under a services contract because the economics on this are really clear. Customers that are shifting to DaaS are saving up to 20% on their lifecycle costs. Instead of unpredictable spikes, you get steady monthly payments, and you also get upfront credit for the residual value of those devices. That kind of cost clarity can add up really quickly. But the TCO question isn't just about a hard cost or a hard formula.
Well, we had no hands go up on the last question, so I'm assuming we'll have a similar response on this one. For bonus points, who here knows the soft cost of managing those devices? Yeah, people are just leaving. Like, how did you answer these questions? Well, one of the examples I often reference is technology onboarding experience with our newest entrants into the workforce. I have a son who is graduating college in the spring, and he has been using technology, laptops, tablets, phones, for more than a decade. And he knows how to do most any task through tech and through the apps, and I'm pretty sad to admit that oftentimes I'm asking him for help. But what it resonates to me is that he and his peers are more tech savvy at age 22 than really all of us were. They're much more productive, and they're much more productive faster. But it's our job to enable it. Our ability to drive productivity and performance and engagement right off the bat starts with the very first device that we hand them. Is it a device that they know and the ones that they have used for their entire lives? Or are we handing them a new device, making them learn it, giving them frustration right from the beginning instead of providing a really good and quick onboarding experience? So what kind of employee experience are you creating? One that fuels growth and productivity, or one where friction gets in the way of a positive experience? I bring this up because this really is that soft cost conversation. There is major value in fast on-ramping, in high employee engagement and low turnover. DaaS can be the vehicle that provides you flexibility to deliver device choice to your employees without creating a negative experience for your IT team.
Now for this next question, we know how will you de-risk is a question that you are asking yourselves all the time in just about every situation, every area, because nothing makes it harder to plan than volatility, especially if you want to plan with confidence. Specific to devices, think about what will your cost structure look like next year? What do you think it could look like with this shifting economic climate? And Brian, how quickly is it shifting?
Yeah, this is funny. I mean, we've had this conversation for the better part of this year. The tariff forecast and the economic outlook conversation, we were going to talk about that, but since it's changed 18 times in the last 18 days, we've just decided to stick with this question instead.
Unpredictability like that can really slow down innovation, and it can bog down budgets too. What if the market changes? What if you have to shift into cost cutting? The hope is that the flexibility is needed because of growth, but the fact is the future is always unpredictable. Traditional device purchasing creates these cost spikes every couple of years. But one of my favorite things about DaaS is that it turns those cost spikes into just a predictable OpEx payment. This gives you the flexibility to keep investing through market uncertainty instead of pausing to wait out that volatility.
And speaking of flexibility, your workforce is changing. New roles, new hires, new priorities. And the real question is whether or not your device strategy can flex as fast as your business. Now, as Amanda just said, the future is uncertain. Let's say you've just instituted a great AI strategy for your organization. Maybe you've just deployed Gemini or Copilot with the help of CDW's experts. Does everyone's device support that AI strategy? Will their tasks be doable on those devices? And do they have the juice to perform all those initiatives? Or maybe you've just instituted a return to office policy. You have all this space and you want to put it back to good use. You've got a good outline for the culture benefits, and your leaders want to drive that in-person collaboration. But technology has shifted, and maybe you're not as tech ready to return to office full-time as you think you are. Maybe you don't have enough space. Maybe the space that you have isn't return to office ready, and maybe, just maybe, your network isn't sufficient, and hint, it's probably not.
A good DaaS strategy lets you plan for these decisions, for the choices that you're making around culture, how you get work done, and also how are you going to leverage all of the tools and resources that you might not have had 2 years ago or 5 or 10 years ago. When you move to DaaS, scaling up or down is really simple. Aletha and Randy talked about the value that this flexibility brings and how LA28 is going to use DaaS to scale up and then scale down really easily. You can do the exact same thing for your organization. You can make sure every employee has the right device for their role, delivered directly to them, ready to work on day one. That type of agility means that your infrastructure can keep on pace with your growth and your goals.
All right, finally, this is one question that we ask a lot. How overwhelmed are you with device management, and how much time is it taking away from your strategic initiatives? Leaders in this room want to innovate. That's what you all do. But way too much time is lost to managing those devices.
Yeah, and DaaS lets us at CDW take all of that completely off your team's plate. Repairs, replacements, compliance, all of that is handled by us. Your people get to reclaim those hours to focus on things like transformation and innovation instead of just device maintenance. So DaaS goes a really long way in helping you unlock the true value of your team and their talent.
All right, so every leader in this room is facing these 5.5 questions. And what sets CDW apart is that we'll help you answer them with a comprehensive plan to deliver to your organization the intended outcomes. If you're already consuming tech in this fashion, then you're probably loving the flexibility and scalability that it offers you. And great news, you're not alone. It's quickly becoming the market's preferred model.
And it also makes space for innovation in some really exciting ways. CDW, in partnership with Apple, is actually introducing a global first for enterprise customers. It's called the Residual Value Guarantee Program. This lets you take advantage and get credit for Apple's strong residual value. So basically, the way this is going to work, CDW will credit you at the beginning for the residual value that your devices are going to have when you no longer need them. What that does is it reduces your monthly payment, and it helps you cut TCO even more. And on top of all of that, it makes Macs, which are already AI ready and secure right out of the box, even more accessible for coworkers in your organization. And on top of all of that, when your devices reach end of life, we have a zero landfill policy which ensures certified data destruction and full compliance with your ESG goals.
That's great. Budget and environmentally friendly. We do all that and more by listening to your business priorities and your desired outcomes. We advise from the experience of thousands of these engagements. We'll design programs that work, we'll orchestrate the right technology, and we'll manage the most complex domains so you don't have to. And that is how CDW is turning device management from a cost center into a competitive advantage. Thank you very much.